Hello, everyone. Welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick, and I'm joined today by Jay. As we all know, we're on the international break. Jay, how are yourself?
All good, mate. Really good, Joe.
Yeah, no, mate, I'm good. I'm good. Couple of stressful weeks at work, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Should all be done by the time the international break's over. I'm glad we ain't got football to piss us off though this weekend. We've got a nice, clean weekend with no stress. It's nice, isn't it?
It is nice to have a break because it's not been enjoyable being a West Ham fan. I mean, I'm over the anger and all the
Yeah, I
frustration
am.
now. Now
I am.
I'm sad. I am. I'm just sad the way you see you hearing proper West Ham fans. Some of what people are saying. I've never heard it as people was disheartened and disillusioned with what's going on, and it is currently. It's horrible.
It is horrible, mate. It is. I mean, what we'll do is we'll have a little chat about this as well, just so you know, people. As you all know, we run a support group. So we're going to talk a little bit about the terraces in this one once we're finished with West Ham, and it's that time of year again. As you all know, I'm still a fatty, but I went from a 19 stone fatty down to about 17 stone back in May when I did Jay's 10-day fast. And like I said, that was back in May. Kicked a load of habits, things like I was drinking red wine every evening. Ain't done that since and stuff like that. So I've fallen off the wagon a little bit, but my weight has kind of plateaued. It stayed the same. So I'm currently 16 and a half stone. So I'm still massively lighter than what I was, but I want to kick on. So if you do want to join this fast, you're going to be doing it with me as well, watching me go through the emotional roller coaster, which we'll talk about after. But yeah, just so you know that this is where this video is going, so don't moan about it. All right, this is the international break. There is a fast coming up. This is a good thing for people to do, so we'll talk about it later. We are going to talk about football first. Okay, right. I'm sure I'm sure you've seen all the rumours about other managers coming in and everything else. And look, I think they're all true. I think we are talking to a raft of managers. Absolutely, we are. But we always do at these times. It's Sullivan. I don't know whether he does it as due diligence or he does it because he's pressured to do so by the board. And he says, well, I spoke to him, because he's probably getting pressured to go out and try and find another manager. So he's probably got his own hoops that he's got to jump through. But ultimately, I don't know whether you saw the video the other day, Jay, and that was kind of, it's aligned with what we're hearing from people like Jim White and all that now as well. And that is they're not going to do anything. And I've heard a lot of people now say, well, they're probably going to wait until the outcome of Newcastle and Arsenal, and then they'll sack him. Of course they're not going to, because we've got a run of 8 games in a month. It's almost 10. So, 8 games in a month, you're telling me they're going to sack a manager? We've got an international break now. You're telling me that they're going to wait until that break is gone? We're going to go into this hectic fixture list, wait until we lose 2 games, and then recruit someone else. Do you think that's going to happen?
No, I don't. And the truth is, the glaringly obvious truth is, now would be the perfect time. Now, you chop, you give him the chop, because it couldn't have been presented more. Don't get me wrong, I can't stand the international breaks, but in an ideal world, this one, with your fingers crossed, you'd be thinking,
Ain't
now
this the last
Sullivan,
one now, like till March? Ain't it the last one till
and
March?
then, like you said, we hit,
Yeah.
and then we hit an intense run of games where then it becomes ridiculous to then do it at that point because of the fact there's another golden opportunity now. Pull the plug now, bring in someone, like you said, clearly once it gets to mainstream, once Talk Sport are talking about us talking to other managers, it's definitely happening. And how could it not be, considering currently, who was it? Someone put this up the other day, or was it on one of our WhatsApp groups where someone said, I think it was Louis, shout out to Louis and Sam. They said they Talk Sport done a poll or something. They went, what was the worst Premier League game of the season? West Ham versus Everton, the Hammers versus the Toffees.
Oh, that was a Paddy Power post. That was a Paddy Power post. So funny, mate. So funny, yeah.
And the thing, it's funny, but we're the joke at the minute. We are an absolute joke. And he's got an opportunity now, like you just said, right now, in the ideal world. Right, Loppy, thank you very much. Off you go. The people you've been speaking to, there's a raft of managers that could come in. And now would be the time to do it, mate. But I am genuinely, I find it hard to care anymore because you think, why am I put all my heart into it? I get angry. And then, you feel I'm just getting mugged off.
I mean, I don't even think that Sullivan believes at this point that Lopetegui can turn it around. I don't think he does. I don't think he believes it. You know, yeah, I think it was X put out a story yesterday that we're going to be reversing our transfer strategy. So after not changing our transfer strategy, it was the same as it was under Moyes. It was you have one, I'll have one, the director of football will have one. We continued that in this summer. By reversing the transfer strategy, I think what that means is we're going back to Sullivan being the all-seeing, you know, the one that picks all the players. And there was a thing about, you know, we're only going to focus on championship players. Now, look, I haven't got an issue with signing players from the championship, a couple. But what happens if all you do is sign championship players, Jay?
Mate, well, you end up with a championship team first and foremost because you sign in championship players. But more importantly, what about our youth? If we're going to go down that route, why have we
It's
got to
never
go
going
to
to
the
happen.
championship? We've got some of our youth already playing in the championship. Like, what about our youth? Right now, there is an argument to be said that you could swap Roddy for 2 or 3 of our youth and probably get a better performance out of them than you're getting out. And that is nothing against him. He's just not up to Premier League pace. It's a different game than what he's used to. So, yeah, mate, it's a circus. I personally think at the minute they're just chucking out anything they possibly can to keep us talking about a load of nonsense, and nothing's going to change. That's why
they're trying to sort of deflect it as well. There's rumours gone out as well about, and this always happens as well. I've not seen the rumours or heard about it from anyone other than, you know, just on social media. There's clearly stories being circulated about Sullivan selling the club and this, that, the other. This happens every time we have a bad time. It gets peddled. I'm sure it gets peddled just so that it's a deflection tactic. It's to divert you away from what's really happening. But I don't think it's going to work. There are some people that are buying the narrative of Tim Steidten being blamed for this mess. I mean, I question your intelligence. I'm going to say that now. I'm going to be upfront, and I'm sorry if that offends anyone. If you've been a West Ham fan for this long, you've been part of this circus, you know, watching it in the audience, you know what they're all about. You know the facts. You know. It's basically it's come out and they've clarified now that Lopetegui signed Soler, Guido, and Kilman. Sullivan signed Somerville, Wan-Bissaka, and Wes Foderingham, and Tim Steidten signed Tadibo, Fulkrug, and one other. Who else did he sign? There's one other. Guilherme. He signed Guilherme. So, in what way can Tim be blamed for the way the squad has been built? Because he hasn't built it. There isn't a common vision. He never chose his fucking his manager. You know, he was here for 6 months preparing. So people like Guilherme was probably people that he had prepared to sort of go out because in his mind, this is the vision. This is how we're going to be playing football. I'm going to go out and find this type of coach. So he's done a load of preparation for buying a certain type of player to fit a certain type of manager that plays a certain type of way. And all of a sudden, Sullivan's just come out and gone, nah, you got this bloke, sort that out. But you ain't signing all the players.
And I think that's the main point we've just said, because with Tim, what we do know, he did come in early. He was working alongside Mark Noble. He was implementing new ideas with the youth team that, like in his previous models, he's done, where it's like, right, because his job really, unless I'm mistaken, is to change the whole structure of how we play football. That's what it's supposed to be. So he was doing all of the foundation work, and then all of a sudden the rug got pulled out from under him and we know it's true because he's now come out and said he weren't my choice. So it's not, again, it's not a maybe. It's not like, oh, is this just an idea trying? No, he's told us, no, this weren't my choice. This is nothing to do with me, Locke.
And the thing is, how do you sit on this? Because John sort of put it really well. He's getting criticised because he's coming out in the press and he's defending himself. But if you're Tim Steidten and you're still quite young in the game, you know, you're ambitious, you want to, obviously your reputation's everything as a director of football. If your employer is trying to throw you under the bus for stuff you haven't done, and it looks like they're going to probably get you out and use you as a sacrificial lamb anyway, would you not be stupid to not come out and try and defend yourself? Of course you would.
Screaming from the rooftops, like, listen, I'm going to let you know everything that's got. I personally would. I say, no, I'm not having that. You're not gonna ruin my reputation, because I genuinely believe, whether his motives were solely Tim Steidten when he came in, and even if they were, that would have been, well, I've already built up a bit of credentials from my previous role where everyone's going, oh, you see what he did over there? So now he's on momentum. Why would he come in and want to be anything other than an even bigger success with a better budget, with a bigger team, in essence of potential? None of it makes any sense. So I personally, I'm not saying he's perfect, and I'm not saying all of his signings are bang on. But if let's just say, if I think, can't say it's fact, but if Tim had all 9 signings, we
And the
would be
manager.
seeing it. And absolutely, and the coach. I know this is the world of fiction, but I just don't think we'd be having this conversation now, personally.
No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't, not at all. I mean, like we've spoken about Guillaume, in the glimpses that we've seen of him, he don't look bad at all. Imagine how much further along he would have been if he'd have had some more minutes, maybe 10 to 20 minutes at the end of every game to sort of blood him. He's looked good. He's looked hungry, when he's come in. And you know that player was signed. He's kind of the profile of player that somebody like an Amorim would want. He'd want a young, hungry player.
Yeah, I don't like this whole argument of project player. Like, there's players that are 18 years old that are playing fucking for top teams that are top players. Like, they are key players. So if you're big enough, if you're good enough, if you're strong enough, if you're fast enough for the Premier League, then you're good enough. That's it. So I don't. People have been knocking him. Oh, he wasted 25 million on Guilherme. He's wasted on Fulkrug. We've got to all now agree that's been a waste of money. Fulkrug's a waste of money. But you can't say that about Guilherme, because the times you have seen him, he's a unit. He looks like he wants to play. If he'd have been playing where, again, this is where the coach comes in. If you'd have had Guilherme on and you've had Kudus in that sort of number 10 role, Paqueta, his fellow countryman with him, all of a sudden you're going to get a player that's going to be puffed up his chest. He'll be feeling the confidence of giving the opportunity. And I think we've got a diamond in the rough there that is just, again, like a lot of our players have been miscoached totally.
Yeah, and also, this is where I don't understand Lopetegui, because when you've got a situation where, look, the first team, you can see it, their heads are gone with this coach. I don't know whether they've ever had it, but I mean, a telltale sign is discipline. So there's no discipline there in that game where Alvarez got sent off. I think it was, we could have lost Jimmy. We should have lost Guido. Guido should have walked as well in the same game. You had Kudus going around slapping players the week before, against Tottenham. There's no discipline. There's not. They look frustrated. They look like, you're making us look bad. What are you fucking doing? They look angry. And if you've got players that are out there to make their name, someone like Guilherme, he isn't going to be like that because he just wants an opportunity. You'd harness that sort of thing. You'd be more reliant and bring in someone like that in. But the guy, I wouldn't even go as far as to say it's all Lope's fault. He's fucking useless. But he shouldn't be here. He shouldn't have been the guy that was brought in. And he probably has ended up in a situation where this squad rebuild doesn't suit him, doesn't suit anyone. He's part of the problem. They're all part of this problem. Tim is also part of this problem, but it isn't. It's not his fault. He's not. He's just. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you bang on, mate. The thing is, that the way I look at it, they were all jigsaw pieces that were brought in to try and fit together. But the thing is, the coach, that is a key piece. And that piece, there was another piece that should have put that piece into place, and that was Tim.
Yeah.
If Tim had picked the coach and Tim had picked Lopetegui, right now I'd be blaming Tim for everything.
Yeah.
For everything, because that was his job, but he's not been given that job. And we've got square pigs in round holes all over the pitch, and none more so than on our bench. He does not know how to manage in the Premier League. He just don't know how to do it. He hasn't got the capabilities.
It don't suit this system. And what is the biggest red flag of all is the fact that he does have this single way of playing. Now, look, I can understand any coach having your preferred style. I get it. I get having your preferred style. But to show a complete lack of flexibility and willingness to see that you don't have the players to make this system work, and to try and find another way for the good of the club. Sod your philosophy with the players that you've got. For instance, Wan-Bissaka persisting with one of the best defensive right-backs as a wing-back, making him look crap to the point where you're subbing him for Soufal, Now, there's nothing wrong with Soufal, but come on, He was frustrated. He was angry when he got brought off. I thought Guido the other day probably had his best game for us. He got fucking pulled off as well. He kicked a bottle when he walked off. This is just bad. It's bad.
There's no
what's going on.
stability. there's no continuity with it. You
No,
can't work out what he's done with the subs. When the subs line up, you think, okay, well, you can't say, well, that's going to change the game in any way. Most of the time, you're thinking, what's he done that for? Like, why is he doing that?
it's like
And
he's
for
guessing, isn't
me,
it? With the
yeah, he's
subs, it's like he's
guessing.
guessing.
And
Yeah,
I know you said about discipline, and I think against Everton, there's normally levels that like phases you go through when you're pissed off. First, it is the anger and the
yeah,
frustration,
yeah,
and lack of discipline, which they shouldn't be doing. But against Everton, it looked like their souls had gone, like
yeah.
they're
No,
just
100%.
depleted,
Well,
and that
they
for me
looked.
was sad.
They looked at it like reflected when like when the camera, because we're watching on telly, when it pans to the poor people in the crowd, the players reflect the people in the crowd. It's like everyone's dying here, everyone's
Yeah,
dying, you know. So sorry, mate, 1 second.
no problem.
But yeah, it's such a shame. It really is. I don't have any hope now that Sullivan is going to do the right thing. I don't, even though he's got good proof of a similar scenario in the Avram Grant season. You know, because although the points, when you look at the points on the face of it, it's not our worst start to a season. That's undeniable. But you've got to look deeper than that. We've been lucky. There's 6 points we shouldn't have. We should be down in the relegation zone now. We should have. The Man United game was a miracle. We shouldn't be anywhere near where we are. It's nothing but luck. And I just feel like if you're going to sit on your hands and roll the dice, or not, look, I've got no doubt that if we're in the relegation zone come Christmas, he will act. But the worry then is, Jay, we know the type of manager that then means that Sullivan is going to go out and find, or even a manager. What manager is going to be interested in that job at that point? You know, if you're talking whether Amorim's your flavour of the month or not, not Amorim, Allegri. Allegri isn't coming in to save us from relegation. Allegri would come in at the right point in the season for an ambitious club that want him to switch their favours around, where he can actually do something in that season. You know, he does. I think it's a sign of the ambition of the club when you can see from the outside in that this is failing, and they wait and they wait and they wait until the season is dead. At that point, all they want is a firefighter. For me, you're only ever going to attract a certain type of manager. Then, you know,
Absolutely. And the thing is if we're fans, we're not professional coaches or pundits, but if we're fans and we can see what is glaringly obvious, these managers that might be getting discussions and having their ear tweaked at the moment, they're going to be looking and thinking, well, just like us, and go, well, you're going to have to act now, because if you don't act now, I ain't going to come in and put my reputation on the line for you lot. It's not even for us. It's for Sullivan. It's not for West Ham, it's for Sullivan. They ain't going to put their reputation on the line for Sullivan, because most, regardless if you're a West Ham fan or not, I think we're known as, we've got a good fan base. Like, it's a
yeah.
good club to manage because we are a good footballing people. I genuinely believe that. There's certain clubs like us, like your Newcastles, like your Liverpool. There's certain clubs
Jay, there's one thing that we've got zero tolerance for, and that's the type of football that we've been watching for the last 3 years. One
Right.
thing, we don't expect or demand trophies. We don't expect or demand top six, irrespective of all the promises that were made by Sullivan. We're not stupid. We don't expect all of that. But what we won't accept is just being served up gutless, shitty football. We won't accept that. You know, that's the one thing that will piss us off as a collective.
And more than anything else with that is knowing that what we have got. I don't think we need to have a whole new, I'm hearing people say we need to rebuild again in January. No, we fucking don't. All we need to do is get someone in to utilise the assets that we have got, which includes the youth as well as what we've got on the pitch. We've got a great 20-man squad easy of players.
Do you know what this squad needs, Jay? When you look at it, because they're all good players, they just need to play in a basic fucking formation, whether that's a 4-2-3-1 with conventional positions or whatever it is. Just stop trying to be. The geezer's trying to be too fucking clever. You got players interchanging positions. You've got right backs who turns into a right wing back and he appears over on the fucking left wing. No one knows what the fuck's going on. You've got Todibo, one of the best talents in European football we signed there. I was over the moon when we signed him. If you go and have a look at any of the scout reports from this guy from before we signed him, now people are saying that he's crap. He ain't crap. He's literally been thrown under the bus. Like I said, he's half the time, because of the way that we play, he's left in a 2-on-3 situation where the right back's not there. So you've got to look to cover right back. It's a complete mess. It's not stable. It's not a stable system. It don't suit the Premier League, like you said earlier on. Even with the personnel, I don't think it suits the Premier League.
No, not at all. I mean, we're not playing Premier League football. If anything, I think he's trying to play a mid-table La Liga type team football. Like it's
Yeah.
not. It's that slow, and we're not doing it. We can't
No.
we can't build out from the back. We just can't. It don't work. We end up trying to bite. We know ourselves. We can't go into our midfield because we've got nothing in there.
There's nothing
at
there.
the moment. It's going to be able to turn the ball and carry it up the pitch. So yeah, I mean, it is. Oh, we're going over the same stuff, but this is what's so sad about it is, and people saying, you know, you and a lot of people, especially on Count and Booze, have been saying from about game 5, no, it's not too early to be worried. Now look where we are. Was game 11, wasn't it? Week 11 was just gone, the last one.
Yeah.
Week 11, that's over a quarter away through the season, and Everton was our worst performance of the season by far.
Add to that. A dreadful pre-season, which you can't discount it when that form continues on into the seasons, because it was exactly the same pre-season as it is now, and 2 cup games were shit. So he's had 13 games in a pre-season. We're no closer to seeing any type of identity there. None.
No, he's failed.
I think we're worse. I think we're worse now.
Yeah, absolutely. We're worse than last season. I can't believe I'm saying that.
I mean,
but
we're worse than we were on game day 1. We're worse now than we was at the start of the season. I think we are. We haven't improved at all. So that's enough for me.
For that I do blame Loppy for that part. Not everything, but for what's gone on the pitch. I put that totally at Loppy's door.
Jay, you have to give him some responsibility for this, because fair enough, he might not have been given all the players that he needed to play his preferred system. Boo fucking who. There's a lot of players in the Premier League that would kill to have some of the players that he's got at his disposal.
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? He's playing
absolutely.
Kudus out on the left wing. You know, the vast majority of people that manage West Ham would go, that's your best player, stick him in the middle.
Yeah, straight away, and then build around him. And then you'd go, who else you got? Oh, you got Paqueta.
Oh, fuck me, yeah.
Oh, just put him next to him then. Don't, bruv. Yeah, that's what. And then it does get frustrating, because it's the same thing we've been saying since the start. That side of things, Loppy absolutely at fault for. I don't blame Tim for that. No. However, the biggest problem is, and this is where I've lost all faith, is the boardroom, is Sullivan. This is West Ham's issue at the minute.
It's never going to change. It's never going to change. But even when it comes down to you know, the signings. Now, look, everyone knows, and you know, that I did not want Fulkrug, especially because the alternative was Duran. You know, that's no alternative. You can't go from Duran to Fulkrug. But even so, right, I just think any striker would struggle in this system. Now, he's injured now. He's got a bad injury record. But, you know, this injury could have happened to anyone. It could have. So, but that's the truth. You know, we could have bought Duran. This could have happened. West Ham have got a terrible record, you know, with this. Look at Dean Ashton. So I just feel like if you look at like what Nottingham Forest are doing at the moment with a very similar striker in Chris Wood, who's banging goals in for fun.
Right.
What's the difference there? They're giving him service.
That's it. That is it. That is literally, and that's to Sam, something he's always said as a striker. Yeah. You can't be a bad striker if you're not getting service. You can't be. You can be judged once you get on what your job, you know, description is. Right, you put the balls into me, and then you judge me. But none of our strikers, I don't think this season, have had good service. None of them. Our football as we bypass the midfield. And we don't feed our strikers. It's fucking ridiculous the way we play football. I've never seen anything. This for me, in my whole career as a West Ham fan, is as bad as it gets. I haven't seen any. Big Sam, I would almost take that at this point.
I know.
Over what I'm currently seeing. Moyes, I would have taken that. Because it's not. You was never thinking really. What are we doing? What's going on?
I would never go back to David Moyes, because I was just as miserable under Moyes. No. If you're being honest, because you're rose tinted a little bit there as well. If you go back to last year, mate, we were miserable. We was getting pumped on a weekly basis. You know, 5-0 at Fulham. You know, 6-0 at Arsenal. The ground emptying out at half time. It was just as clueless. We've basically been consistently shit in the Premier League for three. This is the third consecutive season now. It's a continuation. I would never want to go back to Moyes.
I wouldn't want to go back to any
it
of
was
them, by the
awful.
way.
It was awful.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that for the. That is
Yeah.
definitely not what I'm
Yeah.
saying. But it's almost as if I didn't feel as fucking sad and dejected as a fan in the first 11 games with Floppy as I did under Moyes. Like, I don't know. It's a different. Maybe no, but then again, it's a spillover.
Do you know why? But do you know why though? Because under Moyes it was different. Because we always knew that we was going to be moving on beyond Moyes, so we knew that we had this platform to build on, and we knew that we was better. So we was always driven. We was always driven by our own ambition and our own hunger and desire to what comes next. Well, we've just seen what fucking comes next, and now we are deflated as shit because they have completely ballsed up. So what has come next is no better than what we had before. They had a perfect opportunity to build. They did it late anyway. Should have been after the conference final. Should have shook Moyes' hand. Sullivan would have had a successful manager on his books. Someone that everyone would have just looked at as a bloke who gave us 3 years in Europe. And, you know, he won a trophy. We shook his hand, said thank you very much. But no, he didn't. Ran him into the ground because he's a fucking plum. I just... Yeah, and all the damage, the spillover from that season as well. Players like Fornell's getting disenchanted and losing him and basically replacing him with Soler, who I think's half the player. Certainly, look, when it comes to characters and stuff, it ain't even just about ability. In a football team, certainly a club like West Ham, you need players that get it. And that was one of the main reasons I loved Fornell's, because fuck me, did he get it? Did he get what it was to be a West Ham player? He literally was a Spanish Cockney. He loved playing for this club. And that is why everyone loved him. And you know something? That's important. That is really important. You need to have people like that. What we've got now, we've got a load of people on the pitch that just look lost and like they don't want to fucking be there. That's bad. That's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah. Fornell's represented the West Ham way, and that is what we've always been, is them sort of players that will come in and they'll be grateful to be here. The thing is, at the minute, as a new player, they're not getting that opportunity because, again, this is where it starts from the top. Sullivan's been pulling us away from West Ham for years anyway. The move from up to, I know we all know going over the same thing, but this is by design. This ain't some fluke accident. It's just what's happened is it's accumulated after 4 years of absolute dross under Moyes, where like you said, where we knew it's coming to an end, and then we get all these.
So that was the motivation under Moyes.
And you're excited, and then all of a sudden, the same guy that's been tearing everything up, he drops another bomb on you and goes, here, have someone who's going to completely deflate you and the players and the director, sporting director, which is not even a sporting. Everything about this season so far is absolutely at the helm. Is Sullivan's fault, which is why I reckon at some point it's going to kick off again because people have had enough. People have had enough.
Yeah, it's gonna kick off, mate. And when it comes to you know, David Moyes, sort of to build on that again, right? It weren't as bad last year because we had that hope. For those that disagree with that, let me ask you a question. What if at that point where we was getting pumped on a weekly basis, David Moyes had just signed a new 5-year contract and we were guaranteed of 5 more years of that shit? Would you have had hope? Would you have been happy at that point? If we basically knew that what we had there, we had for the next 5 years? No, you wouldn't. The only thing that kept us alive was the fact that we had a hope for change. I think that's been stripped away now. It's been stripped away.
Yeah, and probably Loppy's getting the back end of that as well, even more at his door, because it's because. And again, I totally blame Moyes in that regards for what he did and for what he did. It wasn't just Fornells. Look at all the players that did get Moyes, like Lanzini. Like what he done to Lanzini.
Lanzini, not last year, the year before. You had Lanzini, and this was when Thomas Souček was at his peak worst. So not last year, it might have been the year before. You had him playing at his worst, and you had Fornells and Lanzini sat on the bench watching him play like that week in and week out. I mean, fucking hell. Honestly. I mean, and whenever you saw Lanzini come on, you could see the guy still had more than the ability and a tool to do a job. Now, I'd say I'd love him now in the middle. I would. Someone that could pick up the ball, get hold of it, and move it around a little bit. Of course you would. Yeah.
You should have him all day long, wouldn't you? You'd have him back. You'd have Fornells back. And I know we're reflecting on the past, but the thing is, these were the building blocks or lack of building blocks that we're now suffering with. And that's the truth. And yeah, at this point, at this point, there's just got to be a change. There has to be a change. Something's got to give, because if this carries on,
he's not going to change, because if he changes, then he definitively has admitted that a mistake has been made. Now, obviously, look, there is going to be a media game, because I think Tim's going to go, right? Tim's going to go. Tim is a sacrificial lamb. He's going to throw Tim under the bus. He's got to convince the board to vote on that as well. But from what most people are reporting now, Tim and Sullivan haven't been getting on since the start of the season. They ain't been getting on at all, of course, because Tim Stein thought that after Moyes he was being given control, and then all of a sudden Sullivan pulls that back and goes, "No, I'm choosing the manager." And I mean, he's not going to be happy, is he? He's not going to be. So straight away he's created this toxic fucking atmosphere. He's plonked these two people together, because Lopetegui don't want a director of football either. He don't. He wants to sign his own players. So you've got the same crap going on. The same crap going on as what we had under Moyes, and it's been so poorly. It couldn't have been managed any worse than what it has. It's terrible. But anyway, look, that's enough misery about West Ham. It's enough misery about West Ham. We've got no football this weekend. We haven't got to worry. We ain't got anything until the 25th. You know, I know we're all waiting for news on, him to be sacked and a new manager, but just don't hold your breath. You know, we will be talking to other managers. We are, but he ain't going to do anything. He's not going to. I can't see it. So what we're going to do now, disclaimer everyone, for all you people that moan when we make these videos, because you do in the comments, this is where you switch off, because this is where the West Ham chat ends, all right? The West Ham chat ends, and we're going to talk about the Terraces platform, and then we're going to move swiftly into the fast. So, as you know, we started all of this. We started this journey with myself and Jay. You know, I was helping a lot of people out with mental health support myself. I was getting more and more requests on claret and booze that I couldn't manage, and I didn't have the expertise myself. You always worry, you know, you talk to people and you're an ear, because I would always pick the phone up to someone, but you're worried you're going to give someone the wrong advice. So I decided to reach out to people with a post for people that could maybe collaborate with me, join together, and we could build a support group platform for people, because there was a lot of people struggling out there, which we did. This was months ago now. 7-8 months ago. 9 months.
Was it that long?
No, well, yeah,
9 months.
It was a long time. We did it on WhatsApp. It grew like wildfire. It was mad. I mean, literally on WhatsApp, you put your phone down for a second, and there was like 500 messages on there. You're like, fucking hell. Am I going to get through that? Not just messages, but like voice notes and all of that as well. So we said, we can't do this. We've got to look for a new platform. So we found a platform, a really good platform for support, where Jake can do all of his mental health coaching classes and all of that, which he does, and all the other bits and pieces that he does. But obviously we had to find a way of paying for it, which you can't. You know, mental health support, that's always got to be free, which it is. So we put a membership platform out there as well for people to join. So you've got two sides to it. You've got the support platform and you've got the terraces. So when you join the terraces, you've only got access to West Ham centric stuff. So it's all the West Ham news, exclusive videos, there's exclusive shows. There's stuff like that. Once we all get to know you as well, like with Luigi and Sam, you know, we've done a spin-off channel, CB Extra Time. We give people a platform. We invite people to come on. They was doing videos on the terraces for a while, and they're brilliant. And I knew that they was going to find their feet. So we got them on YouTube. We put them on here on the main channel initially, but people started moaning because they don't like new faces. And I get that. When you tune into a channel, you want to know who you're clicking on. So I get it. So we started a new channel, and they're growing really, really well. They're getting better all the time. They're getting more and more comfortable. Jay's on there as well, doing his prison stories, and he does a live shows with them as well. So Jay's a little bit of a whore. He dives between both channels. That's what he does. And also runs the support side of things as well.
So Amanda and Kerry, shout out to Amanda and Kerry as well, obviously.
Yeah, and sort of on that as well with the team that we've developed. So obviously, you know, you've got myself, Jay, you've got Virgil, you've got Mickey, you've got Luigi, you've got Sam, and you've got Amanda and Kerry. Now, Amanda and Kerry are the two angels of the channel, without question. They are. They you know, they're the ones really, because I've got really busy over the past sort of month, 6 weeks with work, and it can be quite intensive. And those two are just brilliant, especially on the support side as well. Constantly checking in on people directly, you know, messaging them all the time, making sure they worry. If somebody's gone quiet for a little while, they'll message them and stuff like that. It is brilliant. So yeah, the platform itself, it's one platform called Circle, right? It's a little bit like I would say it's got a Facebook feel, but it's closed, and we protect it and we moderate it. Nobody gets bullied in there, nothing like that. I mean, obviously, look, it's claret and booze, so people have got their they have their say. Of course, you can, but we never have any situations where people, um, uh, yeah, you paying a fiver a month doesn't give you the right to come in and abuse others. Simple as that. You're out. You're gone. And we haven't had to do that too often, but we have done it. So we do protect the community, and basically the way that we've done it is that the people on the terraces on the West Ham side of things, that £5 a month that they contribute, that basically runs that entire platform. So you're not just contributing to the channel, you're more contributing to the support side and getting people free support, which is brilliant. Um, and yeah, it is good. So like I said to you, Jay runs. I'm not too sure when the next one's scheduled, but you run mental health courses, don't you? Which you've done how many now? Two? Is it two of?
Three of them. Three of them. I've done and the extension calls. I've done two men's, one women's, and what's lovely is now we're still meeting on Tuesday nights, and the men and women have integrated, which was wonderful. We had a lot of people that didn't want to come on camera at the minute. Sorry, at the beginning, didn't want to talk at the beginning, and now they're out. They're helping other people. It is, there's nothing soft about what's been achieved over the last 9 months
No, God no.
with the support side of things. And there's people on there that will openly tell you, and there'll be videos that you'll be seeing that will openly tell you that they didn't want to be here anymore. And thanks to the support, thanks to the terraces, basically the platform, Claret and Booze, they're now not only thriving, they're helping other people. Now you can't,
That's the great.
there's
That's the
nothing
great
soft
thing, isn't it?
about that.
That's the great. That's the great
Yeah,
thing, yeah. And like I said to you, in terms of because it is still stigmatized. Mental health is still stigmatized by a lot of people. People don't like talking about it, and they do see it as weak. It's not weak. It's a fucking illness. When you're ill, when you're down and you're depressed, it's not easy. I've struggled with it myself in the past as well. I have done so. It's a wonderful thing that we've done. It's very fulfilling. And it's great to see people sort of flourish and build in there. It won't always be for everyone. It won't, it's not. Sometimes some people will join and they'll go, "Oh no, it's not really for me." Of course, that's going to happen. But if you
it's
dip your
fine.
toes in, if you're struggling, it's like I said, it's free. You'd be mad to not do it, and you'll find the link. The way that we do it now, because my WhatsApp is like the Bermuda Triangle, honestly. So if you reach out to me directly now, especially because you got to remember, I put my number on the shows as well. So the amount of messages I get through is fucking insane. So we've set up a dedicated email address. If you click on the description and you go down on every video, you'll see the instructions to reach out to us by email. So there's an email address there dedicated for support. If you want help, and myself, Jay, Amanda, and Kerry have got access to that email account as well. We'll all jump on it straight away and talk to you. But yeah, so one of the services that you offer, Jay, is the fast, the 10-day fast. So I did the first one back in May, not your first one, but the first one on Claret and Booze, back in May, and very apprehensive I was. But like I said to you, I was around about 19 stone. I had every bad habit known to man. I felt awful at that stage as well. I actually felt unhealthy. Felt as unhealthy as I physically was. I felt quite bad, very, very sleepy, no energy, just aches and pains everywhere. And like I said, eating all the wrong food, drinking, doing everything that was bad for me. The only thing I ain't kicked is that, which I'm hoping to kick on this one. And it was an experience. It was an experience. You think going 10 days without eating is a long time because 3 days of it is just water. So it's only 3 days you're basically not eating because the following 7 days, what you're doing is you're having vegetable and fruit extracts, which are like fruit smoothies. You basically just get the juice out of them. So you're getting all the goodness, everything that you need. You're not just on water for 7 days. And you just suffer with withdrawals. Like if you have caffeine, if you drink coffee every morning, you get these bad headaches for about 3 days, 4 days, because you go cold turkey to everything. And it's hard. Not everyone struggles with it badly. Some people do, but everyone that I've known that have done these, there's been a couple now, and nobody does drop out. Nobody does really drop out. Everyone sees it through because you're part of a WhatsApp group and a community on Circle that Jay runs where you've kind of got your own support group with other people that are doing it because it's only those people that are doing it that are going to know what you're going through. And it's amazing that throughout after about 2 days, 3 days, people that were quiet and didn't want to say anything, all of a sudden someone posts in there, "Oh, I feel like fucking shit today. I'm struggling. What's going on?" Resonates with someone, and then they start talking, and that's where the support comes in, and you drive each other on. Everyone has peaks, everyone has dips at all different times. Like I said to you, because we're all different. But I will say this: when you get to the end of that fast, for me, I found it easy from day 7, but other people struggled even on day 9. Other people sailed through it, and then they got to day 9, and then they struggled. But for me, from day 7, I felt I'd broke the back of it, and I was seeing the weight come off, and I was feeling better. Yeah, I wanted something to eat, and I wanted to, do other bad things for you. If I wanted to have a drink, but yeah, I got to day 10, and that is probably the best I'd felt in that I can remember. I want that feeling again, because although I've kept the weight off, I went down from over 19 stone to just over 17, and I'm now 16 and a half. So the weight stayed off since May, and in fact, I've kind of managed to get it down. Certain bad habits. I'm back to drinking coffee in the mornings again. But the big one was wine. I'd been drinking wine in the evenings for about 10 years. I had been. Every evening, bottle of wine, couple of glasses of wine. I've been doing that every evening. I haven't done that since May. I still have a drink, but I've stopped drinking indoors. So if I go out, I'll have a drink. But yeah, I don't drink indoors anymore. I have a cup of tea, which is massive for me. Massive. And I'm going on it again in December. And I do want to I want to kind of build on this. So it's going to be a slow process, but I want to get down to, I think my target weight's about 13 stone. I'll be happy if I get to 13 stone. So it'll probably take me through next year to do it. But I'm on course. I'm on target. I'll have a few wobbles. But Jay, do you want to go into it in a little bit more detail, a little bit more technical detail about what the fast entails, the support that you got on? And then obviously at the end of this video, we've got some video testimonials from people that have actually done the fast, men and women, and we'll play those at the end of the video for you as well. Jay, over to you.
Okay, lovely. Thanks very much for sharing your experience, because the most important thing I would start by saying is it's not easy. It's not easy. And when people reach out and initially talk to me about it, they'll probably think I'm trying to put them off, because it's not easy. However, it's not the physical element that is easy. That is the most difficult. Excuse me. It's the mental element, because physically, and I'll touch on that in a second, you can't do more good than a 10-day detox with 3 days of water and then 7 days of predominantly vegetable juice extracts for your body. It's irrefutable. And to give credence to that, I'm pretty sure you all know who Mickey is. Shout out to Mickey. When he done it, he recorded his diabetes levels. And he's not the only person I've worked with over the last, I've been running these now for about 5 years. And it all started, and this is where the sciencey bits comes into it. It started because, for those that don't know, a lot of my work, predominantly my client base, is made up with people with terminal cancer. So it's been proven, and you can look into it. And if anyone wants reference points, please reach out and I'll give you reference. I do it on the fast as well. Like when Nick was going through it, I sent him stuff. I said, look, read so you can see what you're feeling, what you're going through is what you're supposed to be going through. Your body, excuse me, is going through a detox. It's going through a cleanse. It's pushing out lots of bad habits that your mind is saying you need. And your body's saying, well, no, now I've got the opportunity, because you're not putting it inside me. I can get rid of all of it. And it is a difficult journey mentally. So what does it do? So when you fast for 3 days on water, if you think as well, whenever you go in for, God forbid you have to, but for an operation or to the doctors, for any, what do they say? They say fast, don't eat anything for a day or whatever it is. Why? Because when we eat food, okay, first and foremost, we overeat. The human stomach was not ever built or designed to be ingesting food every day. It shrinks down massively to conserve energy, because when your stomach is bloated to its fullest, breaking down food, it's the most energy depleting process your body goes through. So if you have other things wrong with you, like it all started for me with cancer, then when your body would normally be naturally fighting against the diseases, not just cancer, any form of disease, it can't, because it has to literally wait, first and foremost, for your food to go through the miles and miles and miles of the journey through your large and small intestines. And again, think, why is it so long? Because that food needs that time to be broken down. But before it's even hit our stomach, we're eating again. So when you fast for just 3 days of water, it sounds a bit, it might sound gross, but it's the truth. It basically flushes through your sewage system, because that's what your digestive tract and all your intestines are. It's part of your sewage system. It's how your body gets rid of food initially, and along the way it takes out the goodness of what's needed. So over the first 3 days, it is a big mental, it's a mental challenge. It's also a physical shock. Day one, you'll get through pretty easy. Oh yeah, because you're, again, with it, it's like, yeah, I've signed up for a 10-day fast. Brilliant. You'll get through day one. Then you wake up on day two and you're hungry. You can feel it. You are hungry. And that's when the mind will start going at you. But you'll get through day two on just water. You get through day three on just water. What you've done in them 72 hours is you've cleansed years and years worth of buildup of shite that's in your system. It literally is. In just 3 days, you undo years and years worth of damage, and you feel it. And it's not easy. It's not a nice feeling initially, but then day 4 kicks in and your body is craving energy at that point, because food is supposed to be energy. That's what food is. You eat food to energize. It's your fueling system. So come day 4, you wake up and you've got these wonderful vegetable dominant juices. And just to be clear, with these juices, all you get is the goodness from the vegetables, from the plants. And because it's in an extract form, there's no energy taken to break it down. It slips straight into your bloodstream, which is where everything, your blood, the way your blood flows represents your health. That's your delivery of your oxygen, which again, without oxygen, you die in layman's. And it also delivers the energy from your food around your system, because all the billions and billions of things that happened inside your body down to a cellular level, they need energizing, they need oxygen, they need food. So when you start with the juicing, what happens is your body has already recognized over that previous 3 days that there's been a shift with inside your body. And you do feel it. You start feeling, oh my God, I do feel lighter. My skin does feel, but your whole body starts re-energizing itself and replenishing itself. And the reason people say, oh my God, my skin feels so much better, is you got to remember every single part of your body is alive, right down to the microbiomes on the hairs on my hands. And they're used to try, when things go in your system that your system doesn't recognize, it pushes it out everywhere, through your skin, through your nails, literally through your excretion, through your sweat, through your tears. So when you cleanse your body, every single part of it goes into a mode of healing, into renourishing, replenishing itself. So when you start feeding it then with pure vegetable juices, what you will find, for those of you that suffer with aches and pains, those of you who suffer with depression, anxieties, because it's not just physical ailments, this will help you overcome. A lot of it will be the mental side of things. And I always actually say to people, the biggest challenge, as I've said a few times now, over these 10 days, is you beating yourself, how you think about yourself. And when you get to day 11, like Nick said, I promise you one thing. If you do
I can
this,
back that up 100%. It's you're fighting with your fucking head the whole way through.
the whole way. And it is a shock, because your mind's
Yeah.
saying, this ain't healthy. You shouldn't be doing this. But your body is going, fucking hell, about
Yeah.
time. You've given me a break. Let me now take care of you like I want to. Because all your body wants to do is to take care of you. That's all it is. But we very rarely really acknowledge our bodies. We don't really pay our bodies that much respect. We don't normally exercise the amount that we should do. We're only talking 20 minutes a day. A 20-minute walk every day, just 20 minutes. What that will do for your system over the course of a few months is amazing. But how many of us actually put that time aside? Oh no, I can't do it. I'm too busy because of this, because of that, because of the other. And that is another thing, is you'll realize over them 10 days, how much time you waste in your mind thinking about things that actually don't matter. And when you actually have to start concentrating on something that you can feel, which is, I feel hungry, there's a shift in your mental state. And if you watch any of the testimonial videos from people that have completed the fast, they'll say, yeah, I feel great and I look great. But every single one of them, to a man or woman, will say, it's how I'm thinking. Like, I feel so much better mentally in myself. And that for me is the biggest win.
Yeah. It was definitely one of the best things that I've ever done for myself. I'm certain of it, which is why I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. So I'm looking forward to this one. I am. I'm looking forward to getting to day 10. I'm probably going to have all the same issues again. I will do when I do it. But because it's not easy. And as Jay said, the fight with your mind is real. The weird thing is the hunger pains that you get, on day 2 that Jay's absolutely bang on with, and day 3 they disappear. Your stomach's not roaring. It's not rumbling. You would think it would be. I've not eaten for fucking 5 days. Why ain't my stomach rumbling? It's because it's like you said. It must just shift into a different mode. And the only thing that is telling you need food is your head at that point. it's all you can think about. It is all you can think about. People in that WhatsApp group, they started torturing each other, didn't they? Sending pictures of food and all of that, you know. And people was going down the shop and buying packets of bacon. Do you remember? And just leaving it and
Yeah,
going, no,
yeah,
I bought the
cooking for the
bacon.
kids and all the
Yeah,
rest of it. You know? Like,
yeah. Do you
it's
remember Adam? Do you remember Adam that night when his missus went and got the curry?
all the
She
things
got his
that
favourite takeaway.
he likes and she doesn't normally like. I mean, how horrible is that? It was quite funny when you think about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But
I know.
shout out to Adam because he's on the video. In fact, I think he's
Yeah,
first on the video. And Adam will tell you himself, he got to day 9 and his mind just went, what does one more day, Matt? He phoned me up and he said this before. He was
yeah,
like, Jay, I think I've achieved it. And I just said to him, have you?
yeah,
And
yeah,
he, within 5-10 minutes, folk, Jay, you were right. No, I haven't. But that's how, and my point of saying that is the amount of what I do professionally, the amount of people that persecute themselves with their mind is sad because you're constantly telling yourself you're not enough, you're not good enough, you haven't done this, you haven't achieved that. What this fast will give you is a sense of achievement that your mind can't deny because you do it and you go, oh my God, I just didn't eat for 10 days. Well, how do you feel? Well, I feel great. I look great. My skin's better. I've lost weight because you're exercising every day as well. It's not just fasting. You
yeah,
exercise 3 times a day, breath work, 20-minute walk and resistance training. And you might at this point feel, what? And I'm not eating. Yeah, no, it all, if you trust in your body and you trust in the decision you make that I want to make a change for myself, you'll get through this and you'll build some new habits that you'll take forward. Like Nick said, he's managed to keep the weight off. Nick, you've done some training with me since then as well. You've done some personal training side of things as well. You've put in place some habits that maybe you weren't doing before. And that's what it's
yeah.
about. And that's for me the important thing is being able to walk away and go, yeah, I didn't do it for my wife. I didn't do it for my husband. I didn't do this for my kids. I've done this for me. And do you know what? I feel really good in
Yeah,
myself.
and I will
That's the
say for
point.
me, you know, I did it for the weight loss initially, but like I said to you, I do struggle. We all struggle with a little bit of mental health, feeling down, you don't know why, and you know, lack of energy, that sort of thing. As great as the weight loss was, the way you feel when you get to the end of that mentally is just fucking mad because you've just literally fought a 10-day war with your mind, and that is rewarding to come out on top because it's always trying to hold you back. I mean, you called the
Mm.
mind the ego, didn't you? You know, you're fighting it the whole time, but you're literally you're at war for 10 days. And whereas you know, if you have been struggling for a period of weeks, months, years, maybe even your lifetime, to feel that success at the end of that 10 days that you've done that is quite something. It's empowering, to be honest, and it does make you think about things differently. It does. So, yeah. So, like I said to you, the weight loss benefits, great, undeniable. The health bit, the physical health benefits, great, undeniable. But the mental health benefits for me, brilliant. So, like I said to you, if you are struggling, even if you're right on your ass at the moment, and you're feeling down, this for me is something positive that you can do to take some control back when you're feeling quite helpless. Personally, I think it's a really good thing that you can do for yourself. So yeah,
Mm. Brilliant.
and
Yeah.
also, how do they do it? So Jay's been running these, as he said, for 5 years, long before Claret and Booze. So he's got his own practice outside of Claret and Booze. Usually they're £100 for the course, and so it's basically £10 a day. And Jay manages you every step of the way throughout the whole process. You get all the recipes, you get daily support. You get one-to-one support, which you will need. You'll be phoning him constantly. You get the group support as well. But when you're a member of Claret and Booze, you get 50% off. So it's 50 quid for 10 days. It's a fiver a day if you do it through the platform. The directions for that are going to be in the description of the video. So you basically join up to the terraces. Once you're in, there's direct message features and everything else. You literally find myself, find Jay, or just post anywhere in there and say, I've joined for the fast. And then what we'll do is we'll go into your profile, open up the other areas that you need to go into because it's all hidden. Like I said, when you first sign up, it's just West Ham stuff. Support's hidden. Everything else is hidden. And yeah, we'll push you through it and get you onboarded. So all those instructions will be in the description.
Brilliant.
That's about right, isn't it?
Yes, bang on, mate.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's it really. Yeah. So just, yeah, as I said, people, just if you're, as Nick has just said, most importantly, because some of you might think, oh, I hear this all the time. I haven't got a weight problem. That's not a problem. Fine. Your body will regulate itself as well. I mean, there's people that have joined the fast that they're not overweight as such, and they're worried, oh my God, am I going to lose? No, your body, you're not ingesting. You are
You've
single
got
day.
people that do this almost every quarter just for a cleanse, don't they?
Yeah.
They just do it for
Oh,
a cleanse.
I've got. In fact, on this next fast, you've got people that are on their fifth, fourth, fifth. There isn't thus far. I mean, there's quite a few people on this one already, and there's only probably about 4 people that are doing it for the first time. Everyone else is because it is addictive. And if you ask people what is the addictive part, they'll tell you
It's
day 11.
Day 10. Yeah, day 11.
The morning of day 11, because we all go on a Zoom
That's
on
the
day
best
11
day ever.
together,
It's the best fucking
and
day ever.
everyone is just is in a great frame of mind. Everyone's
The
just
sense
like,
of
well
achievement.
done, well done.
The sense of achievement. You will never believe. Even watching this now, you'll go, oh, I can't not eat for 10 days. You fucking can. You can. You probably do it for longer. That's the truth of it when you kick into it. But the it's you feel amazing. Like I say, afterwards, just in your head. But yeah, you do notice that you are right with your skin and everything else. Everything does come out through your pores, and I was getting that comment, from in-laws, people saying, "Oh, look at you, you're glowing," and all that. I was like, don't know what that means. Don't know what that means, but thank you. Yeah, I'm glowing now, but for different reasons. But yeah, so look, that's brilliant. So we've spoken West Ham, we've spoken the terraces, we've spoken about the fast, which is coming up in December. So it's a great kickstart to the it's December 1st to December the 10th, isn't it? December 1st to
December the
December
1st, yeah. So it's a great thing to do before Christmas, because you are going to overindulge at Christmas anyway. Losing, even if you look at it this way, well, if I get myself shifted a stone beforehand, it gives me a bit of allowance over, fine. But I'm telling you, it won't be that at the end of the 10 days that you'll be taking through Christmas. It'll be, oh my God, I feel amazing in me. I can't believe I've done that.
Yeah.
But that's what you'll take for it. And it'll be the best Christmas you've had in a long time.
And I do know it's party season, people. I do know. My job that I've got means I'm taking clients out all the time, and I've got to do it as part of my role. It's generally what I do. And I've got that all year long, especially in December. I have. But you know what? Couple of nights out that you go out on, you get an even bigger sense of achievement if you just stick to it. There was a couple of people that went on some big nights out, with mates that drink a lot and stuff like that. It's that's even better. That's even more of a battle. It's so, like I said, for 10 days, you can make an exception. You can do it for yourself. If it's one night out that you go out on where you go, no, I'm going to be the boring one. I'm on a fast. I'm not doing it, but I will come out. And I'm going to struggle the whole way through it, watching you lot get pissed. But then at the end of the night, when they're falling all over the place, you'll feel fine. You'll be all right. You'll feel fine.
Driving them all home.
Yeah. That's it. Right, we'll play the testimonials now from everyone.
Yeah.
Because we're literally at the hour mark now. So we'll play the testimonials from all the lovely people that have done it before. Jay, do you want to close off?
Yeah, please, as well. Also, just to shout out to everyone that has been part of the terraces and the support for the last 9 months. All of you, and all of you who I'm talking to now, thank you for sticking with and helping new people integrate into it. And lastly, I just want to shout out, like you've already done on the second channel, please, people, subscribe to Clarence and Boo's CB Extra Time. You've got myself and the boys.
I'll put the link in the description as well for that.
Yeah, lovely, because we've got a lot of good work going on over there as well. So, and we'd really appreciate it. It does help. As Nick says, put a like on it. Helps with the algorithms and all that malarkey. So please do.
It does.
So yeah, nice.
It does. Yeah, and like I say, with CB Extra Time, like we all thought with Sam and Luigi, who are basically a couple.
Quality.
They're basically a couple. If they ever leave their other halves, they'll end up together. But we always knew that they was going to be brilliant on the screen, and you can see it now. They're proper settling in. They're not nervous anymore. They're just bang on with it. It's like they've been doing it for years now. So get on board
and
and
they
watch
know
them.
football.
They're fantastic.
They know
do.
football
They
and
do.
they know West Ham. That's another thing. They are all the laughing and joking. They know if you listen to what they're saying, there won't be a lot. Of course, it's a difference of opinions, which makes it great. But they don't talk shit. Like they've got something to say about football, and that's what I like about listening to them as well, because they'll have you bent over in laughs, and then they'll have you thinking as well. So
if you got nothing to say on football and you got no opinions and you're going to sit on the fence, why bother? You've got to have something to say.
Why bother? Thanks, mate. Right. Thank you very much. Thanks, people, for listening.
Cheers, everyone. Speak to you all soon.
Right.
Why would I choose Jay? Because his fasts are amazing. I'm coming up to my 4th one now, and everyone is different. Everyone has a profound effect on my health and well-being, and the incredible feeling that you get at the end of the fasts is next to none, and it's amazing. And you have got to try it, because your life changes, my life changes, and my life would not be complete without Jay. So yeah.
Jay, what can I say? You've changed my life, brother. You really have. Going on these journeys regarding fasts, it's not just a case of losing weight. If you have any element of doubt that you can't do this, trust yourself, believe yourself. You can. I never would have thought I could have done 10 days without eating. But you can. The support's there. Jay's there. He's amazing. He really helped me. Changed my life to the point where now I'm going to embark on my 3rd fast this year. Forget about the weight loss, if that's your thing, because that's what my thing was to lose weight. But the health benefits afterwards, for me personally, just overshadows it. You will feel great. Do it. There's no reason why you can't. Peace out, brother.
Hello everyone. I'm just coming online to tell you about Jay the Soul Coach's 10-day program, 10-day revitalization program, which is 3 days of water and 7 days of juicing. It's also more than that. You get support of Jay, support of the group that you're doing the fast with, free breathwork classes, juice recipes for ideas. Why do I do it? I do it to reset my eating habits. That's what I tell myself, reset your eating habits. What do I get? So much more. I do reset my eating habits, more conscious of what's going in my mouth. I lose between 4 and 6 kilos each time. My body shape changes, reducing belly fat. I get clearer thinking, more clarity in my thoughts, and I feel more alive in just short space of time. In just 10 days, I feel more alive, less fatigue, ready to go for it. I would recommend wholeheartedly the 10 days to everybody. And if you're half on, half off, just go for it. Just sign up, because it's probably the best thing you can do for yourself, especially before Christmas. Good luck.
Hello guys, I did the fast last May, and my blood pressure was sky high. Really hard. I did find it hard, I've got to be honest, but the fast got my blood pressure down to normal and I lost 10 pounds. Was it easy? No, but the people you do it with on the WhatsApp group help you through it, and it was fantastic. So I've signed up for it again. Is it the right thing? I don't know, but I'm going to do it. Good luck, come and join us.
Hi everyone, it's Laura here. I will be joining Jay for my 2nd fast in December. I can't wait, I feel like I need it. I was new to fasting this year, so I joined the team for my 1st one, and it was amazing. Being part of the team, no one gets left behind. You all cross that day 10 together, and it's just superb. I was really in a sort of horrible place before the fast. I'd put on weight, my skin was bad with psoriasis, and my cholesterol was through the roof. After the fast, it reduced my cholesterol, my skin felt amazing, and I dropped over a stone. So yeah, amazing guys, you've got to get involved. It really was a game changer for me. So hopefully we'll see you on the 1st of December, the start date, and we'll all cross the line together. Take care.
Hi everyone, my name's Nicola. I'll be joining Jay in December on his fast, and this is the 4th one that I've done with Jay. I think they're fantastic. I get a hell of a lot out of them. Fantastic sense of achievement, but also, you know, personally, from a mind body perspective, I feel a hell of a lot lighter. It sets me up with good habits, it motivates me, and I think it'd be great to do it in December, because it will just set me up for the new year, and hopefully form some great habits before the new year. Also sets me up, makes me conscious of what I am eating, what I'm putting in my mouth. I feel that I'm just a lot healthier from it. So hopefully I'll see you all on the fast in December. Bye.
Hello, Danny here. I just want to talk about the fast, the 10-day fast, and tell you what I got out of it. Basically, drink water for 3 days, which I thought was going to be a bit of a nightmare, because I do love me food, but I got through it. Reason I got through it, there was a group of us doing it that helped us sort of reach the goal, and then after that, obviously you do the juicing and stuff, and I think personally, my own personal opinion, the juicing side of it I struggled with, but that was only because I think I was doing it wrong. I was sort of filling in the juice, putting too much in the juicer that you couldn't sort of cope with, so you need to do it like step by step and not overload it, you know. So I think that was the only downfall of the whole thing. But yeah, just do what I said and do it gradually instead of instantly when you're doing the juicing, and you get a better result. But at the end of it, I used to drink coffee all the time, quite a lot of coffee if I'm honest. Used to wake up, have a cup of coffee, and then probably have about 4 after that during the day. But when I finished the course, I didn't even like the taste of coffee. So I crossed that off. I still have the turmeric tea, that Jay told me about. That helps. I'm still juicing. We West Ham, wash it and all that, you know what I mean? Don't muck about, bosh. Yeah, and I really got a lot out of it. Just my habits changed. I got a completely different outlook on food and outlook on my health. Yeah, so I'd advise it to anyone that intends on doing it. Lovely. Kushti, Danny, bosh.